Hi everyone, welcome to the course Become a Business Analyst, your path to success. As discussed earlier, this course is structured based on BABOK guide and is divided into 9 comprehensive modules. We have already completed Module 1 and Module 2. Module 1 provides an introduction to business analysis specially designed for those from non-IT backgrounds or those who are new to the field. Module 2 focuses on BABOK knowledge area strategy analysis, where we explored how to define business needs, access organizational capabilities, and recommended effective solution. For simplicity, each tutorial video is marked sequentially, making it easy for you to follow. If you have any doubts or need a refresher, feel free to revisit that specific tutorial covering the topic. All relevant documents and helpful links are available in the video description for quick access. Now let's move ahead with tutorial 8, business analysis planning and monitoring. In this session, we will dive into how to plan your business analysis work, monitor its progress, and effectively manage stakeholder involvement. So, without further ado, let's dive into tutorial 8. Business Analysis Planning and Monitoring BAMP is the knowledge area in BABOK that defines how business analysis activities will be planned, monitored, and managed throughout a project. Let's see activities one by one. Plan means decide what business analysis work needs to be done and how to do it. Monitored means keep track of the work is going and check if things are on track. And manage means handle changes, issues, and make sure the work stays aligned with the goal. BAMP also ensures that business analysis efforts align with organizational needs, stakeholder expectation, and project objective. Now let's check the task involved in BAMP. Plan business analysis approach. It decide how you are going to do the BA work, whether it is waterfall, agile, or something in between. Just pick the best way to get the job done. Next, plan stakeholder engagement. It is like identify the key stakeholder, figure out who is involved, how they prefer to communicate, and how to keep them in the loop and happy. Plan business analysis governance. It's like define decision making processes. Set some ground rules like how decisions will be made, who approves what, and how change will be handled. Then next is plan business analysis information management. Here we decide where we will store all our BA stuff like documents, models, notes, and how to organize and share with them, means who will have access those documents and who will not have the access of those documents. So all these things are decided in this task. Then next is identify business analysis performance and improvements. It's like introspection. Look back at what's working or what working not, and then think about how to do BA work better next time. And the last is monitor business analysis performance. It is like keep an eye on how the BA work is going, check if things are on track, and adjust if needed to stay efficient. Now let's align each BMP task with loan management system project so that you get a clear idea. Before I start explaining the BAMP task, don't get confused about the order. The goal here is to show how the business analysis activities are planned. You can follow the sequence that work best for your project. It is flexible based on your needs. So first task is plan business analysis approach. This task defines how business analysis will be performed, including the methodologies, deliverables, and techniques. Methodology means which kind of method you are going to use for your project. This all ties into the software development lifecycle SDLC and how different SDLC methodologies work. Let's say the stakeholder decide to go with waterfall. In that case, most of the BA work happens right at the beginning of the project. It's all about getting the requirements nailed down early. But if they go with agile, then the BA work is more continuous process spread across the sprints, and the workload is more balanced but steady throughout. Just to note, BA usually don't choose the methodologies, but they are definitely part of the discussion where going to be decided. And if you need refresher on SDLC, check out tutorial 3. I explain it in a super simple way, the links in the description. Now let's apply this to our loan management project and see how it plays important role here. In this case, means for loan management system, hybrid approach has been chosen for the project. The reasons behind that, the UI UX part has a room for continuous improvement. So it's being developed using agile, allowing regular update based on feedback. As we know that UI UX is continuously going to change. So if we adopt agile methodologies here, then it will always give us advantage to make changes. Whereas on the other hand, the integration with the core banking is more fixed and critical. So it was handled using waterfall and completed early in the project. So most of the banking project follow this particular methodology. This is hybrid methodology which we have just discussed. Now the next key element is timing and deliverable. It's like scheduling task and setting expectation. Timing and deliverable just mean figuring out when stuff needs to happen and what you are expected to deliver. It's like making to-do list with deadlines so everyone on the same page. Here the deliverables include business requirement documents, that is BRD, functional requirement document FRD, use cases, wireframes and process model as well. Well, let's check BRD and FRD here in the brief, and remaining part we will see in the upcoming tutorial. So BRD is like the business team is saying that here what they want and why they need it. It's no tech talk going on during creation of BRD. It's just about goal, needs and what the success looks like. So all these things we are do or we document in this particular document, and that's why it is called as business requirement document. We will see the BRD in the detail, don't worry. Then the next is functional requirement document. This is tech friendly version of BRD. It says here exactly how the system will do what you asked for. It breaks the dream into buttons, screens and logic. Basically it is the recipe the dev team follow to cook up the system. Means development team who are going to develop the entire system will follow whatever given in the FRD. FRD is created by business analyst with the help of business as well as with the help of dev team as well. And once the FRD is get approved from business team, then it is handed over to the development team, and development team start developing that particular software or system using the FRD. That's why FRD or BRD, these documents are very important, because everything, entire project depends on this particular documents. Next key element is technique and tools, which means that which kind of technique and tools business analyst is going to use to gather the requirement from the stakeholder. I personally feel gathering requirements from stakeholder is one of the most important skills for business analyst. Stakeholders often speak in very complex business terms, so it's up to the BA to break it down, truly understand it and document it clearly. How well this is done really depends upon BA skills and approach. So here we can see few requirement elicitation method like brainstorming, interviews, observation, workshop, surveys, then prototype, then interface analysis and many more. We will see each and every elicitation technique in upcoming tutorial. Now let us unfold new task, that is plan stakeholder engagement. Planning stakeholder engagement is very easy to understand but very hard to execute. This task identifies who the stakeholders are and how they should be engaged and their level involvement in the project. Key element involved here, stakeholder identification. Here we identify who involved in the project. For loan management system, we have identified two person. One is loan operation manager is one of our stakeholder. This is the role actually, and this stakeholder is expert of workflow of entire loan process. Then we have identified IT infrastructure manager, as the role suggests that he ensures system compatibility, means he is totally involved in the IT infrastructure of the project. So in this way, we need to first identify the stakeholder. Then next, analyze the stakeholder. Here we assess their interest and influence. Means there are two types of stakeholders generally, who has very high interest but they are not that much influential. There are few who has more interest as well as they are influential also, means their importance in the project is very high. So in our case, loan operation manager is something who is having high interest in the project, because he is the someone who is going to use the system at the end, means he is the end user of the system, so he must have high interest, and he is having high influence also, because he know the exact workflow of the project. So someone like loan operation manager is always considered as high interest with high influence. Then the IT manager, well, in case of IT manager, the interest is medium, because he is not going to use the loan management system after the completion, so his interest is medium, but his word is very important, that's why he is considered as high influence. So in this way we are analyzing the stakeholder. So we go into deep of this particular thing in the upcoming tutorial. This is just we are exploring the BAMP. The next is communication strategy. Here we plan how to engage with them, means we engage with them via meeting, we engage with them via emails or something like else, or we are going to meet them personally. So in this way communication strategies are planned. In case of loan operation manager, we will take continuous meeting, means weekly meetings are with them. Then for IT manager, regular technical discussion during the system setup. So in this way communication strategies are planned. Well, here we can see some key method for identifying and analyzing stakeholders, like based on role attitude, based on authority influence, then stakeholder list, stakeholder map, RACI matrix, and power interest matrix. We will dive into them in more detail in an upcoming tutorial. For now, we are just trying to see how they fit into the BMP process. In short, plan stakeholder engagement task is all about figuring out who is involved in the project, how to connect with them, and how much they should be involved. It's like making game plan for making the right people in the loop at the right time. Well, we have already covered who is stakeholder in detail in the tutorial 5. Feel free to check it out again and refresh your memory. Now let's check third task, that is plan business analysis governance. Governance defines how decisions will be made, requirements approved, and changes handled. This task is basically about the ground rules, who calls the shot, who signs off the requirement, and how we will deal with any changes. It helps to keep everyone on the same page and avoid confusion later. The first key element in this particular task is decision making authority. This is about knowing who has the final say when it comes to approving the requirements or any changes. Here we are not going to take any guess game here. Okay, means it is very clear cut on the basis of role. Everyone is having the decision making authority. Now let's align this thing with the loan management system. Let's the first role is product manager. Product manager is the highest authority of our product, that is loan management. So he has all the decision making authority to approve major scope and changes. So this is only because of role this particular decision making ability comes to product manager. Then loan operation manager, we have discussed about the who is the loan operation manager. These are the someone who are directly in contact with the customer, and they convince customer to take the loan from your, means this, and in our case Noah Major Bank. And the third is cyber security officer. This ensures security policies which security policies need to be followed. Now, why role is important, we just, I just try to explain you here. See, loan operation manager is someone who is directly end user of this particular loan management system. He goes to the customer, he convinces the customer for the loan, but he doesn't know about anything about the security of the system. So he can't talk about the security. Whereas the cyber security officer has the entire knowledge of this particular system, how system need to be secured. So he talks about security, whereas loan operation manager talks about the process, that is the workflow. So these are, in this way we need to identify who are the decision making authority. In case any changes occurred, then we need to follow the change control process. Here, how changes in the requirements are managed. In loan management or in every other project, any requirement changes must be documented, and it goes to the change approval board, that is CAB, that is CAB. Means, let us consider that we have gathered all the requirement. Now it's in middle of the project. Now customer, means our stakeholder, wants some changes. So what we do, it's not like that we directly tell them that it's not possible, because at the end of the day we need to be very clear cut about what we are going to tell to the stakeholder. Now let's move to the last key element of this particular task, that is conflict resolution. Conflict resolution happened if there is a disagreement, and this defines how it gets sorted and who gets escalated to. Basically, who steps in to break the tie. Let us consider loan management system example. When there is a dispute between operation and IT and it is not getting resolved, then it is escalated to the senior management, so that it get exact resolution on this thing. Means there is always conflict between the operation team and the IT. Operation team always want something which is 100% according to them, and it should be perfect, but there are always limitation through via IT team, that few things which are not possible or not within their limit. So such conflicts are always there between operation and IT team, and in this case if it is not resolved, then it is BA's role to escalate to the senior management. So in this way BA plans business analysis governance. Now let's move to the another task of BMP, plan business analysis information management. It is all about figuring out where we will keep all the BA stuff like documents, diagrams and requirement, and how we will manage it throughout the project. So it is quite simple to understand. Means there are two key elements involved in this particular task. One is storage and access. Here, where all documents we need to be kept, whether it is in the SharePoint, Confluence or any other tool, whichever industry, means whichever your organization is going to use. In case of loan management system, we are keeping all the requirement in the Jira and Confluence, and here we can give only IT team to edit this particular requirement. So what here we are trying to tell you, that the storage is different, access is different. We once we store into any using any tool, then we can give the access of like only read or someone with the edit. So all these things are taken control or consideration in this particular task. Then the next is version control. It keep track of who change what and when, so we don't mess up things or lose important updates. Means it is like preventing conflicts after after some changes are taken place. In case of loan management system, changes to requirement are tracked using version numbers and approval logged in Jira. As we can see that here there are a few tools which are regularly used in the industry: Jira, ServiceNow, then SharePoint, Confluence and many more other also. So it's up to organization which tools they want to use in their project or in their organization, and they are very easy to learn how to operate them. So once you join any organization or once you start working on any project, so you will learn these things within it's just a matter of time. You will get what means you will able to learn how it is working. Now let's move to the another task of BAMP. It is identify business analysis performance and improvement. These steps ensures the BA process is efficient and continuously improving. It is all about checking how well the BA work is going and finding ways to do it even better next time. So the key element involved here are performance metrics. It is measuring effectiveness like requirement clarity and defect rates. Means it is setting some KPIs. Let's check the loan management system so that you will get much clearer idea. Here requirement clarity score. The feedback is directly from the developer. The very important work of BA is to write down the requirement, and that requirement should be very much clear and understandable by the developer. So feedback from the developer is one of the KPI. On the basis of this we can decide the efficiency of the BA. Then the number of requirement changes post approval, means once we have get approval from the particular particular stakeholder, and again we are changing the requirement, then it is kind of failure of BA. We can consider this as. Then stakeholder satisfaction survey. So the feedback from the direct from the stakeholder is also considered as one of the KPI of the efficiency of BA. Now, next key element of this particular task is lesson learned. It is identifying gaps for future improvement. It's like look back and say what could we have done better so we can avoid the same mistake. The loan management system example, we can consider that initial requirement were too high level, means whatever the requirement which we have provided we have taken were quite high level. So in the future project need more detail use cases upfront. In very initial stages we divide this particular requirement into small parts so that it is very easy to understand everyone. We will see what is exactly use cases and all in upcoming tutorial. Then last is stakeholder feedback, means regular gathering of input. Ask people what we are doing in the stakeholder feedback. Generally ask people involved what they think, what worked for them and what didn't, so we can keep improving the process. So generally monthly reviews to refine business analysis process is generally taken. So in this way overall we set up the BA process to get more efficient. So these are the some key elements we follow while identifying business analysis performance and improvement. Now let's move to the final task of BAMP, that is monitor business analysis performance. This involves tracking ongoing BA activities to ensure alignment with the objective. Monitor business analysis performance is all about keeping an eye on how the BA work is going to make sure it's on track and meeting project goals. So key element involved here are tracking BA activities. It is like check if tasks are getting done on time and if deliverables are being completed as planned. In loan management system, BA tasks are tracked in Jira with deadlines. A dashboard shows the percentage of completed requirements. So in this way, BA's activity is getting tracked in our loan management system, and we can use the same thing in your means whatever the project you will work in the future. Now next is adjusting plan. It is like making necessary changes based on feedback. In case of loan management example, based on early feedback from the branch managers, the loan approval workflow needs simplification. Then here we can adjust your our functional requirement document according to that. So this is the adjusting plan which are considered in this task, in this element. And the last is ensuring stakeholder satisfaction. Here regular engagement to maintain the alignment. In loan management system if we consider this, then weekly feedback meeting with the product owner, then iterative UI UX testing to validate customer experience. Such tasks are involved ensuring stakeholder satisfaction, means here overall we are ensuring that stakeholders are satisfied. Now these are all BAMP tasks which we need to adopt while working in the business analysis. So let's conclude this topic. By following the business analysis planning and monitoring framework, business analyst ensures that the project runs smoothly, stakeholders are engaged effectively, and requirements are well managed. This structured approach helps minimize risk, improve communication, and enhance project success. In short, BAMP is the BA's game plan: who to talk to, what to do, where to save stuff, and how to stay on track. Think of it's your BA's survival kit. Plan smart, stay organized, and avoid the chaos. In the upcoming tutorials, we will put BAMP into action, diving deep into the stakeholder analysis, requirement elicitation method, requirement analysis, and whole lot more. Time to see how it all works in the real world. Leaving you with the final thought before we go. So, thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and drop your questions in the comments, and hit that subscribe button and join me on the exciting journey into the world of business analysis. See you in the next one.